We're going to welcome Split This Rock DC, some young people from the DC area who are going to do a very quick set of poems now that they've created for this, and then we're going to move on to technology. So Split This Rock DC, are you with us? And we can transfer over here.
When I say spoken, y'all say word. Spoken? Word. Spoken? Word. When I say to be, y'all say heard. To be? Heard. To be? Heard. To be? Hi, everyone. My name's Jonathan B. Tucker. I'm with Split This Rock, one of the coaches of the DCU Slam team. I have with me a national slam champion, former teacher, colleague, also coach of the DCU Slam team, Elizabeth Acevedo.
Hi, y'all.
We are very happy to be here, present to y'all the world champion DCU Slam team. There's some amazing young poets. Split This Rock, we really come at the pedagogy that we do from a critical perspective. We're a nonprofit organization that's all about arts and activism. We're all about social justice and trying to build a better world through the creative arts and specifically creative writing and performance. And so the performances that you see tonight, or today rather, this morning, they're going to highlight some of our students and their commitment to social justice and, like you've heard today, their version of finding themselves through the spoken word.
And so we work at a capacity of spoken word as an art form that is really, really necessary for this group of students and for all students and for our entire country, and not just this idea of tell your story or write your story, embody your story, perform your story, use your body as a vehicle at any point, whether you are on the metro, whether you're on a street corner, if you're in a classroom, if you're at the Kennedy Center of the Performing Arts, all you need is your body to get across the message that is most important to you. And this idea of elevating their personal stories, that it doesn't have to be in the canon, it doesn't have to be something you've seen on YouTube, it doesn't have to be anything that you've ever imagined. What you have and what you believe is enough for you to claim, I need an audience. And I demand an audience. And I love the line of like, don't apologize for your presence. And I think that's what spoken word does. My voice is enough to be here.
So highlighting that, we're going to bring up the first poet that we're going to introduce to you. He's a senior at Dunbar High School here in Washington, D.C. He's a two-time member of the D.C. Youth Slam team. 3 stars.
2 bars.
Hey. That's our chant. We'll do it right in a little bit. But yeah, he's an amazing young poet. He has his own chapbook that he made, and he's going to give you a short poem of his. Y'all please put your hand together for Tajay Williams.
That's funny. He said short poem. They gave us a month to sum up our ancestry. So when you speak of black history, don't start with America. Don't start with slave ships, whips, and torture. That's the textbooks talking. Black bodies have burned beautifully since the beginning. They grapple our language, bend and twisted to mean something burnt and scarred. Negus, Negus, means king, means royalty, and we royally rotated that so it stands for peasant. That's funny because a king would never stand for a peasant. Martin Luther Negus Jr. stood for a cause that even the mighty would. Emmett Till, he got Malcolm X out of his person. I don't know about y'all, but ain't no person been able to tell me when my history starts and stops. The past shows solutions for the future, which is why we wield so close to us the knowledge of nations' beginnings. Black people are a nation of hardships and heartbeats. We write symphonies in our skin. We compose concertos in our color. And even God's orchestra will be incomplete without you. You are needed. Black child, thank you.
Thank you, Tajay. In addition to talking about social justice issues, we believe that the personal is deeply political and that our wounds need witnesses. And so oftentimes our students don't necessarily write about these big macro issues. They just write about the little things happening in their lives or the small struggles that they're going through. And that is so necessary for them to realize who they are and what they want to be doing. And with that being said, I want to present a special student in my heart. She was one of the first people I coached. Please put your hands together for Hannah Smallwood.
I have gone up in bright flames, burning, screaming, quiet. I held the match, lit the pyre. I have climbed out of embers, covered in ashes and hope, slept among cinders, cried on benches, lay in glass coffins, locked in high towers. I have waited for rescue, for prince, for witch. I have been witch, been fire left in the snow, been lonely, known empty. I can watch you walk away and keep standing. I am not waiting to hear hoofbeats anymore or to see sunlight shining off your armor. I have learned to work better in darkness, to hide bloodstains in the corners of midnight, to carve staircases out of starlight. So tonight, look out your window. I will be the only thing burning. I will leave sunspots in your eyes. You will know I am not the kind of fire you can put out. I will not be kept, will not be hidden. I am not ashamed to burn, to set myself on fire over and over. I am Phoenix. I am Cinderella and ugly stepsister, princess and crone, beggar and queen. I am woman. I am fire, and you will see me long after I am gone.
Hannah Smallwood. So we take this team every summer. We take a bunch of teenagers from DC to the national competition called Brave New Voices. And in addition to going to the national competition and bringing kids together from all across the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, we also try to start after-school poetry clubs in schools. And so we're in high schools right now. And we actually we work off a model similar to Young Chicago Authors. And you saw Carlin up here from Young Chicago Authors, where we put teaching artists in the schools, have poets come out and serve as coaches for slam teams. Because we really believe that if we're going to support our young people playing volleyball and basketball and football and give them coaches, that we can also support their poetry and their stories and their courage to get up on stage and share those stories with coaches as well. And so we're working to get more and more schools to have their own teams. And so this next poet to close us out, she's a member of her high school slam team and also a member of the DCU slam team. Her name is Shayla Johnson. She is amazing. She's going to come up right now. Before she does, I'm going to ask Zay if you can do the chant proper, like, so people can learn our chant. The DC flag has 3 stars and 2 bars on it, so that's where that comes from.
DCU Slam!
Shut the zone!
3 stars!
2 bars! Hey!
The name of this piece is called Political Warfare. I don't know how much restraint I have left in me. Too many times have my pleas for justice and equality fallen on deaf ears. My silent and peaceful protests have been the butt of far too many jokes, and to be frank, they were never funny. Genocide is not something you take lightly. Hundreds of sun-kissed boys and girls are dying. Chandra Rhimes got people out here asking how to get away with murder. Why don't they just ask Darren Wilson? He's the one who took an innocent black boy's life and didn't even get indicted. Cops could give a damn about a Negro. See a nigga pull a trigger, he's a hero. Fallen bodies constitute a lot of zeros on the check of a man with no intent of protecting my people. And then they wonder why I have so much animosity. As if my reservation aren't as valid as the reality I'm everything they assume that I could never be. And to every single person who's ever told me police brutality isn't a race thing, you're absolutely right. It's a pretentious superiority thing that just so happens to have an underlying theme of racism, prejudice, and hate. So excuse the heck out of me if I have a problem with authority. I'm just tired of seeing my brothers and sisters' names as hashtags. Homicide was never supposed to be trendy. Black lives are not some minuscule blurb on the timeline of America's history. We are here. We built this country on the backs of our free labor, so I'll be damned if I let anyone try to write off my existence as if I don't deserve to stand on American soil. I am American soil. My melanin is my rite of passage. I won't apologize for the beauty of my pigment or your lack thereof. I don't owe you anything. So don't ask me to smile when riding the metro. Don't expect me to cross the street because you don't know what it means to share a sidewalk. Don't assume that I'm loud, ghetto, and ignorant, that the only type of music I listen to is hip hop, and that my favorite pastime is eating watermelons. Because then that would only perpetuate the idea that your kind, people on your level of intellect are and never will be worthy enough to be in my presence and witness the power of black girl magic. See, I refuse to cower in your presence. Wear my black as a badge of honor. Walk with the pride of my ancestors. Use my poems as weapons of mass destruction and my mouth as the trigger. So you can try to gun me down if you want to. You won't stop this revolution.
Thank you all. We really hope that with our combined efforts, we can really get more schools to embrace spoken word and actually put poets in the classroom and bring us out. It's always a struggle for us as a nonprofit year to year, fundraising all the time, and it takes a lot of our efforts away from the actual work with the students, which we need to be doing. So I'm hoping that the road forward for us involves a lot more of this type of amazingness.
Our youth, as you can see, are incredible. You can find us at DCU Slam on any kind of social media. You can find us online at splitthisrock.com. You can talk to any of the poets. They're all phenomenal in their own right after this is over. Thank you so much for being here and listening to our students.
Thank you.